Wait, Abraham had more kids after Sarah died? Imagine being over 100 years old. Your wife dies. Everybody thinks your story is over. And then, boom, you remarry and start having more children. Yeah, nobody talks about this. The same Abraham people picture as a tired old grandpa in Bible movies apparently said, actually, I'm not done yet. And the craziest part, most Christians don't even know this happened. Welcome back to Beyond the Sunday School, where we uncover the Bible stories they somehow skipped over in class. And today's episode honestly sounds fake, because after Sarah died, Abraham remarried. Not only did he remarry, he had 6 more sons. 6. At this point, somebody needed to check Abraham's birth certificate, because what do you mean this man was still building families after 130? So after Sarah passed away, the Bible says Abraham married a woman named Keturah. Now pause. Because the same Abraham who waited almost 100 years just to have Isaac suddenly starts having children, like there's a family expansion tale happening. The Bible says he had Zimran, Jokshan, Medan, Midian, Ishbak, Shua, that's 6 additional sons, which raises a serious question. Why does nobody talk about this story? Because Bible movies always portray Abraham like a tired grandfather, peacefully waiting for heaven. Meanwhile, the real Abraham was apparently still unlocking side quests. Honestly, if this happened today, social media would never rest. Breaking! 137-year-old man announces new baby. The memes would be brutal. The part everyone misses? But here's something even crazier most people don't realize. One of Abraham's sons with Keturah was named Midian. Yeah, as in the Midianites. Those Midianites. The same Midianites that show up later in some of the biggest Bible stories. And guess who ended up living among them? Moses. After Moses fled Egypt, he escaped to the land of Midian. And guess who he married? A Midianite woman named Zipporah. Think about that for a second. One tiny verse that most people skip over ends up connecting Abraham directly to Moses' story hundreds of years later. The Bible is full of these hidden connections. You think you're reading a random family list, then suddenly you realize you're looking at the origin story of an entire nation that becomes important later. The family drama. But wait, it gets messier, because Abraham already had Isaac and Ishmael. Now add 6 more sons from Keturah. That family group chat must have been terrifying. And the Bible says Abraham gave gifts to the other sons and sent them away from Isaac. Translation: inheritance drama was loading. Because apparently humans have been fighting over family property since biblical times, some things never change. And honestly, Abraham was probably trying to avoid a family feud before it started. Smart move. But let's go back to the biggest question. How did Abraham even have 6 more children at that age? Remember earlier in the story, both Abraham and Sarah laughed at the idea of having Isaac. They basically thought that chapter of life was over. Yet here we are, years later. More children, more descendants, more nations. It's almost like the Bible is going out of its way to show us that Abraham's story was much bigger than most people realize. Most people know Abraham is the father of Isaac, but Abraham became the father of many nations in more ways than people think. In closing, and that's why this might be one of the most overlooked plot twists in the entire Bible. Yes, Abraham remarried after Sarah died. Yes, he had 6 more sons, and one of those sons became the ancestor of the Midianites, the very people connected to Moses and Zipporah generations later. So, the next time someone says they've heard every Bible story, ask them this. Did you know Abraham started another family after Sarah died? Watch their face. Now tell me in the comments, did you already know Abraham had more children after Sarah? Or did this episode completely destroy your Sunday school timeline? And if you enjoyed this hidden Bible fact, subscribe to Beyond the Sunday School, because trust me, we're only scratching the surface. The Bible gets way crazier than people think.